So welcome back everybody to our channel. This week we're going to be doing something a little bit different. When Barb and I first started doing what we're doing, documenting our journeys on YouTube, we did it for us so that we could look back in 5 or 10, 15 years from now and see where we've been and kind of relive some of our experiences. We also wanted to share with our family and friends back home what we're doing and maybe let them know that we're still alive. So, but as we go forward, we're finding more people are subscribing to the channel that really don't know us and don't know our background. So in this week, we are going to share some of that. We're going to share some of the who we are, where we are, why we're doing what we're doing, and maybe how we're doing what we're doing, full-time traveling. So if you're interested, stay tuned and we'll explain everything.
We're Barb and Mike Travels.
And we are two Canadians who last year decided to sell everything we own, including our house, pack up our RV, including our American Bulldog Tyson, and hit the road full-time on an adventure across Canada, the US, and Mexico. But why are we doing what we're doing? Well, that's a good question.
Tyson's quite fascinated by animals. Oh, he almost jumped in.
So about 5 years ago, Barb and I became empty nesters. And we were sitting in our big house trying to decide what the next phase of our life was going to be, like many people are doing in our situation. But what I was realizing that life was becoming very monotonous for us, very repetitive. It was basically Groundhog Day over and over and over again. And I started to worry a little bit about this was going to be the next 20 or 30, 40 years of our lives. And so what I did was what a lot of people are doing now is jumping down the YouTube rabbit hole in search for alternatives. And I came across a lot of people that had quit their jobs, sold everything they owned, and started traveling full-time in their RVs across North America. And that's when I got the idea, after a little bit more research, is maybe we could be doing this. So we started looking into it a little bit more and a little bit more, and gradually came up with a plan. And really, it took a while because I wasn't on board 100% right from the start. It's not like I said, well, let's go sell the house, the next day. It wasn't until really that Barb had a little bit of a health scare about 3 years ago. That was the tipping point for me, and that's when I realized that life is really too short. You're not guaranteed to work till you're 65, 66, 67 and have your health so you can travel. Now, luckily for us, Barb is fine now. Everything worked out and there's no issues anymore. And Barb's being pulled away by Tyson. Yeah, no, it all worked out. But it was at that point that I realized that life, like I said, is short. So that's when I decided we're all in now. Let's do this. And I came up with a game plan, and here we are in 2023 doing what we're doing now, traveling. And we're at a beautiful state park right now. It's called General Coffee State Park in Georgia. And really this kind of proves why we're doing what we're doing, because we're able to go to parks like this and see and experience things like this, which we wouldn't have been able to do had we been sitting at home right now still working. That's really the why of why we're doing what we're doing. It wasn't a flip the switch kind of moment. It was gradual over 5 years, but that's basically one of our biggest reasons why we're on the road right now, is just because we needed something different in our life. We needed a spark and something to really get us motivated. So, but how did we do this? That's another good question. So one of the big questions that we're being asked right now by a few of our subscribers, and not only that, but some of the people that we run into and meet along the way so far, is how are you doing what you're doing? People seem to be fascinated by this kind of lifestyle and how you can achieve it. And unfortunately, there is no one solution to everybody's situation. For Barb and I can tell you that we took some of our savings and the equity we pulled out of our house and invested that and created a passive income stream through that. That's how we're doing it, and it gives us a pretty comfortable living. We don't have the Cadillac retirement that a lot of people are looking for, the champagne and caviar retirement, but we're comfortable and we're okay with that because what we're giving up with that caviar retirement plan is that we're starting to travel earlier. Otherwise, we'd have to wait another 10, maybe even 15 years. But we're doing that now. So we're cashing in now and doing the traveling when we can, when we're still relatively young and healthy. So that's really the trade-off with what we're doing right now. Instead of waiting that 10 or 15 years, like I said, and maybe padding our retirement and having a lot more money in retirement, we decided that we had enough to enjoy life and to keep us comfortable for the rest of our life. So why not? I mean, I think that's a decision that everybody's got to make, and some people are good with that, and some people are like adamant that they need a lot of money in the bank. And that's one other thing that I can tell you right now. You do not need $1 million to retire. That I can tell you right now, 100%. Barb and I are doing this on quite a bit less, and I can tell you, you do not need $1 million. So don't get discouraged if you don't have a lot of money in the bank. There's ways that you can do this kind of thing without the $1 million that all the banks are telling you that you need for retirement. So I think another big trade-off to what we're doing is possessions. And I think a lot of people get hung up on that, and because when you're traveling in a trailer and you're a nomad and you're living in your trailer, you don't have room for everything that you had in your sticks and bricks. So you have to get rid of a lot of things, and so did we. And it was hard at first, but you know what? You realize that these possessions that you had for 20, 30, sometimes 40 years, I don't know, to me they didn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. Or I shouldn't say that, but they didn't have that value that I thought they really did. So what we did is we decided to give up our possessions for experiences, and that's the way I look at it. We would rather have the experiences than having a house full of stuff that we rarely used. I had things that we gave away that I hadn't touched in 20 years, literally 20 years. So, but I guess that's a personal choice. Some people are adamant they want to keep everything that they've ever bought in their life, and that's what makes them happy. And you know what, have at it. If that's what it is, then great. But for us, that was not the case. So again, that's something that the individual person would have to sit down and really kind of feel good with and feel okay with. But if you can do it and you can let go of those possessions and open up your mind to other experiences, I can tell you that it's very freeing. So this video is getting a little bit long, and it seems to be just me rambling on, but I thought it was important because we were getting a lot of questions about this lifestyle and how we do it, and a lot of people were curious. So I figure we would share kind of who we are and why we're doing what we're doing, and kind of a little bit how we're doing what we're doing. So hopefully, if you made it to the end of this video, you're obviously curious about this lifestyle, maybe considering it. So maybe you picked up a few things, and hopefully maybe we created a little spark in some people that maybe they're thinking, maybe I can do this too. So if that's the case, then I'm glad you stuck around, and hopefully maybe we'll see you on the road traveling maybe alongside with us. So who knows? But yeah. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we shall see you in our next video. And I promise we're going back to our regular format of kind of travel vlogging, so it won't be me rambling on like I am right now. Although I don't have a problem rambling on, as you can tell, but I'm sure a lot of you don't want to hear me rambling on anymore. So anyways, so we'll talk to you guys in the next video. See you later.